Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, so welcome to Classic Movie Rambles, where I talk about old movies that I found in my closet while cleaning. This week's movie is The Terminator. It was made in 1984, and it's about 1 hour and 47 minutes long. And the movie starts in Los Angeles in 2029, and the humans are fighting the machines, cybernetic organisms. And then there's some intro credits rolling, and then the first Terminator arrives in 1984. And there's kind of a cool effect. Some lightning and stuff is happening, and he arrives naked because that's how time travel works. You can't bring anything metal unless it's surrounded by organic tissue. So the first Terminator arrives, and it's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he confronts a couple of punks, and he wants their clothes so he can blend in, and they are not happy about it, so he beats them up, kill one of them or two of them, I don't know. And he takes the clothes basically. And then another guy arrives from the future called Kyle Reese, and he arrives in an alley in similar fashion, and he steals a homeless man's pants, and he gets chased by the cops. And he managed to disarm one of the cops and puts a gun to his face and asks him what year it is and whatnot, gets some information where he is at, and he is forced to run yet again, and he runs into a store and he gets some more clothes and a pair of shoes. And he managed to escape the cops and goes into a cop car and steals their shotgun, basically. And he's also looking for this future hope, this girl called Sarah Connor, which she will be important later in the story. And then cutting to Sarah Connor, and she works at a diner, and then cutting to Arnold again, the Terminator, and he's stealing a car, and then cutting back to Sarah again. She's serving some customer at a diner, and she gets some ice cream in her pocket by a nice little kid, and things aren't going that well. And then cutting back to Arnold's Terminator again, and he's in this gun store, and he's getting all these futuristic guns, and the shop owner is like, okay, well, how are you gonna pay for this or whatever? And then he just shoots him and takes all the guns. And then cutting to Kyle Reese, and he's modifying the shotgun that he stole, so he has put like a wire to his hand so it can't be stolen, and also he has shortened the barrel, I think, so it doesn't stick out of his trench coat. And then Arnold is looking for Sarah Connor, and he just goes around killing people that are called Sarah Connor because he doesn't really know what she looks like, so he just goes on a killing rampage looking for Sarah Connors. And then Kyle steals a car, and he has a flashback to the war, and everything is like this futuristic like laser show going on, I guess. And then cutting to Sarah, and her and her friend Ginger is supposed to prep for a night out. And then there's a funny call. Ginger's boyfriend calls her up, and Sarah answers, and he talks about taking her clothes off and everything. And when he realized that he's not talking to Ginger, he's talking to Sarah, it's like this funny, embarrassing moment, actually. And then the police force realized that there's a guy going around killing girls or women. They're called Sarah Connor. So now they're onto something. Good cops. So they try to actually get a hold of Sarah, but they don't manage. She doesn't answer the phone. And then Sarah's date calls off the date, and she says that she's supposed to go out for a movie or something. And she does so, but before she goes out for a movie, she eats like at a pizza joint or whatever, and she watches the news, and she realizes someone named Sarah Connor has been killed. So Sarah walks into a nightclub to use their phone to call the police, but the line is busy, and Kyle follows her. And at this point, she thinks that Kyle is one of the bad guys, but apparently he's not. But there's a busy line, and Arnold's Terminator goes to Sarah Connor's apartment, and he kills off Ginger's boyfriend and Ginger. And he thinks that he's killed off Sarah, and then Sarah managed to leave a message at Ginger's answering machine, and the Terminator picks it up, and he gets the location. He knows exactly where he's supposed to go. And then Sarah managed to actually get a hold of the police, and the police tell her to stay put, and they'll pick her up, basically. And then Arnold goes to the club, and Kyle is there, and there's a shootout between the two. And Kyle takes Sarah and just run. They steal a car, and she's not having it, and he tries to explain what's going on about how like he traveled from the future to the past to save her, and there's this whole plot and about the Terminator and everything. She's not having it. So while this is happening, the Terminator is actually chasing them, and they wind up in like a garage area. And he also explains about John Connor. So what happens is that eventually Sarah and Kyle gets taken in by the police, not by the Terminator. And Kyle gets interrogated by the police, and the police doesn't believe he's from the future, come back to save Sarah in the past, and this really weird scene. And Sarah is actually staying on like one of the couches of like the police station. She thinks she's safe. So the Terminator, Arnold's Terminator, goes back to his apartment, which he apparently had, and he fixes himself up because he was in a car crash. I forgot to tell that. He crashed right into a concrete wall. And, well, he fixes himself up, and he gears up, and he goes to the police station. And this is one of those funny moments. He just goes into the help desk, and he asks, like, the officer there, like, can I see can I see Sarah Connor? It's really important. And the police officer says, like, the visiting hours are over or whatever. And then he just says, like, I'll be back. And then he goes out the door, and then he drives the car right into the front of the help desk and everything. You can see it like it's like a puppet, but it's kind of one of those funny effects. Everything just sends flying. And then the Terminator goes into the police station, and he shoots up everybody. And Sarah and Kyle manage to flee, and they have like a car, and they drive away. They manage to escape the Terminator, and they stay at this, I think it's like a tunnel or something, or like a sewer reservoir or whatever. They have like a breather, and it's cold, and they snuggle up together, and she's obviously freezing, and he tells a story about the women of her time, or like what the future will be like and whatnot. And then she sees that he's actually hurt, so she has to actually bandage his arm. I think he got shot in the police station or something. But then he has a flashback to the war again, and there's like this shelter. They have like dogs and protection and everything, and somehow Terminator managed to get inside and shoot up all these kids and old folk. And it's really kind of this grotesque scene of what the war actually will be in the future. And I can understand that Kyle has like these PTSD things from the war. I mean, it's probably a terrible way to grow up in like a war zone, I guess. So the next day, Kyle and Sarah goes to a motel, and Kyle goes out to get some supplies, and Sarah takes a shower, and she calls up her mom, or the person that she thinks is her mom. The Terminator is basically killed off her mom and is mimicking her mom's voice. So now he knows the location of where Sarah actually is. So as Kyle comes back with some supplies, it's not actually food, they actually make pipe bombs, like explosive pipes, whatever. And then there's some baby making, because apparently they like each other now. And then the Terminator arrives sometime later, and they escape in a car, and he follows them on a bike. So there's this kind of action sequence where Kyle throws like pipe bombs at the Terminator and misses and whatnot. And he managed to blow himself up like with a bomb, so he's like a bit crippled. And there's this funny scene with like a truck, and the Terminator kind of like, he gets run over by the truck, and the truck driver kind of stops, and he goes out to check if something is wrong, and the Terminator basically kill him off and take the truck and drive after him. So there's this weird scene where Kyle actually has like, I guess he wasn't crippled then, but he has like pipe bombs, and he managed to stick it into the exhaust pipe while the truck is actually chasing Sarah. The Terminator is in it, obviously, and he jumps into like a dumpster, and it takes so long for this pipe bomb to detonate, but when it does, it like flips everything up and like in a big flip and explosion and stuff. And they think that they finally got the bastard, but no. Now he's just more pissed than ever, so he's like, all of his skin is melted off, so now you can see his like metal skeleton. And it's one of those effects where they use stop motion, and it's really jerky and janky. It's not like at all like a Judgment Day, as I reviewed earlier on this channel, but It's really janky, but all the close-up when just is like a mechanical head turning, it looks really cool and shiny. So the Terminator basically goes after him, and they run into a factory, and they put all the kind of machines and everything to distract it as much as possible. And there is a chase, and Kyle managed to put a pipe bomb in like the rib cage of the Terminator, like blowing off the legs of it, so it's just the torso. And Kyle dies, and Sarah has like a splinter in the leg, so she can't move that fast. And she's chased by the upper torso of the Terminator, and she crawls to like a garbage press, and she managed to survive and crush the bastard machine. So then some time later, Sarah drives out in the desert in another car. I think she's going to the border of Mexico, and she stops for gas at this gas station, and she fills up the gas tanks. And while this is going on, she has recorded tapes for her son, John Connor, who will eventually be the leader of the resistance, so that he can remember the past and who his father was, so he can know who to send back, so we know how he can send his father back in time to actually save him. And then there's this kid that takes a photo of her, and she pays for it, and it's a photo that Kyle has in his pocket. So she gives the photo to John, and John gives it to Kyle, and Kyle goes back in time. And the movie ends with her driving off into like a stormy kind of cloud landscape. So what do I think about Terminator? It's actually a good movie. There's some aged graphics, some practical effects, but the one thing that was really weird about this movie is like the Terminator gets burned, and Arnold without eyebrows is really weird. I don't know if it was like intentional or if they just forgot, like, or there was some kind of mix up with the makeup, but it's really weird. But otherwise, it's a solid movie. But the second one is always better, they say. So, well, I don't think I can recommend this movie, but yeah, see the second one instead. It's actually good. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.